Hello everyone, welcome back to Double Clutch Auto Reviews. My name is Mark and today we are back at Toyota of Dartmouth with the all-new redesigned 2022 Toyota Tundra Capstone. Toyota of Dartmouth is located here at 100 Old Fonts Corner Road in North Dartmouth, Massachusetts. They are fantastic people to work with and they have great customer satisfaction ratings. If you're looking for a Toyota in the southern Massachusetts or general New England area, come check them out. I will put all of their links, phone numbers, and contact information in the description below. The Toyota Tundra hasn't had a full refresh design since 2007, so this 2022 model year Tundra is actually quite a big deal. We no longer have the V8 option though, unfortunately. The 5.7 liter that we all know and love was sent out to pasture back in 2021. But don't fret just yet, because this Tundra is packing a lot of punch underneath the hood. There are 7 different trim options that you can get with the 2022 Tundra, with essentially 3 different engine options. These range from the base model SR with the lowest horsepower iForce V6, making 348 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque, and that starts at an MSRP just under $36,000. The mid-level trims, the SR5 all the way up to the 1794 edition, get the mid-range power iForce V6, and that makes 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. This Tundra I have in front of me today is of course the Capstone edition. This is the piece de resistance, the creme de la creme, the big cheese, the top dog of Tundras. This has the iForce Max Hybrid. This all-new Tundra's iForce Max Hybrid powertrain is seriously impressive, especially considering this truck's price point along with its vast amount of luxury features. Unless you absolutely need that lovely grunt of a V8, you will not be disappointed with how many ponies this thing puts out. You can only get this motor in the Platinum trim Tundra or above. It has a 36 kilowatt electric motor stacked on top of the already stout twin-turbo 3.5 liter V6, and that bumps up the power to a respectable 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. As far as my research goes, those are class-leading numbers in this segment of 1500 chassis pickup trucks. The only trucks in the 1500 class that are outpowering this bad boy are of course the Ram TRX and the Raptor R, both of which have supercharged V8s making over 700 horsepower and are pretty much in a super truck class of their own. Both of those trucks are pretty much guaranteed to have a 6-figure price tag as well. This Tundra Capstone comes in at just under $76,000 with all dealer fees included, MSRP. That is a hefty price tag, of course, but you are getting a lot of truck for your money, so let's dive right in and we'll check it out. All trims of the 2022 Tundra come with a 10-speed shiftable automatic transmission, an automatic rear limited slip differential, and for an extra $3,000 USD, all trims can come with 4-wheel drive. But the TRD Pro and this Capstone only come with the iForce Max Hybrid and 4-wheel drive. That's the only way you can get them, at least in the North American market. And now let's talk towing. From the SR5 trim and up, you get the trailer backup guide system with the straight path assist. What that means is it essentially has the marker lines on the backup camera showing you where the truck is backing up as well as where the trailer is backing up. It also has the trailer braking and sway control. Now the max towing capacity though is 10,340 pounds and the max payload is 1,485 pounds. Compared to other brands, those numbers are a little bit low, unfortunately. Ford, Chevy, and GMC all have comparable trims in the 1500 class of truck with a higher towing capacity and max payload. But if you still love the Tundra and you don't mind getting one with a little bit less luxury and a little bit more haul, you can get a limited trim which has the mid-range iForce V6 that can tow up to 11,400 pounds and has a max payload of 1,860 pounds. And these are all rough estimated numbers, of course, compared between all of the different trims. But essentially, the 2022 all-new Tundra compared to the 2021 outgoing model year can tow up to 2,000 pounds more on average and has a max payload of around 200 pounds more on average. And now let's talk exterior styling of the all-new Tundra Capstone Edition. Capstone to me essentially means chrome everything. I mean, we have chrome around the badges, chrome around the grille, chrome around the wheels, chrome around the side skirts, chrome on the mirrors, chrome door handles, chrome around the bottom of the windows, chrome emblem on the tailgate. I mean, everything is chrome.
Why is everything chrome? Everything is chrome in the future.
It's actually not that bad. I'm being a little bit over dramatic, I have to admit. Chrome accents are not everyone's cup of tea. I totally get that. But I will say, I kind of have to agree with Toyota for putting the chrome where they did on this truck, because for the people that want a truck like this, they probably will like it. Besides making fun of all the chrome, I know it's real easy to do that. To be honest, it is hard to argue with the styling of this truck. I mean, this is a sharp, handsome looking vehicle, at least in my opinion. Between the macho and brawny hood bulges along with the fender flares that have that nice sharp body line coming down, I mean, overall, it is really just a nice looking truck. We of course have the all new headlight design, which I really like, and I also absolutely love these turn signals. I think they are so cool. I love how they flash and then they kind of draw back down towards the direction that you're turning. I think that is such a cool look. I know a lot of other automakers do that, like Audi and whatnot. However, I think Toyota just nailed this on this specific headlight design. It just looks really, really nice in my opinion. The headlights, taillights, and turn signals are all, of course, LED. I think they did a really good job making them look really sharp and really clean. Next, we have to talk about the front grille. I know there's a little bit of a controversy behind this front grille. However, it doesn't really bother me. I know the chrome is kind of a lot, especially being on the Capstone edition, but overall I know that the engine needs the airflow to cool the engine. We also of course have the blue outlining the Toyota badge, which of course indicates that it is a hybrid. And not to forget, we also have functional vents right here underneath the headlight. Take that, previous gen Honda Civic Type R. Moving down the hood though, I'm gonna have to take back what I just said, unfortunately. We have the badge here for the iForce Max logo with this quite obnoxious looking fake vent right here. I mean, come on Toyota, just make it a real vent, please. And this Tundra Capstone is finished in this lovely blueprint exterior paint. I'm a big fan of it. In certain light, it has this really beautiful metallic flake to it. Really, really nice paint job. Something that I do have to point out that I am not a fan of at all though, this Tundra does come with the black A and B pillar decals, but the way that they're applied from the factory just really isn't that high quality in my opinion, unfortunately. You could see right here that the line of the decal comes to the end of the A-pillar, but there's this little sliver of blue left at the bottom of the A-pillar. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they just didn't paint the whole thing or just wrap them before they installed the roof on the truck. I'm not exactly sure like how that would work or whatnot, but I don't know. For this much money, you're spending $76,000 on this truck. I know it's really nitpicky, but to be honest, for that kind of money, I feel like they should tidy up things like that. Moving down to the side profile of the Tundra, I think they overall did a great job with giving it a stout and sturdy road presence, particularly due to these sharp body lines coming over both of the fender flares, so to speak. I think they did a really good job making this truck look muscular, but not going too overbearing with it. One thing that I have to point out though that I'm not a particular fan of at all, I'm sorry, I have to admit it, are these wheels. These are the 22-inch dark chrome alloy wheels that are exclusive to the Capstone trim only. I know that the style of wheels are pretty much one of the most subjective things that you can talk about on the exterior of a vehicle compared to everyone else's opinions. I think they're just a little bit too busy. I would actually much prefer the 20-inch wheels that come on the Tundra. I actually like those a lot better. I know they're not as big, but to me, I think those just look better in my opinion. I know some people are gonna absolutely love these wheels though, and there's gonna be other people like me that just don't. However, if you have an opinion on these wheels, let me know down in the comments below. I'd like to know what you guys have to say. Regardless of my opinion on these wheels though, I think that the Tundra Capstone trim is overall a very macho and brawny, yet classy looking truck. Coming around to the rear end of the Tundra, we of course have to start off making fun of the chrome again with the big chrome Tundra logo and the chrome bumper and the chrome exhaust tip. I get it, Toyota. This is the top of the line. All jokes aside, I do like the look of the rear end of the Tundra, especially these taillights. We do also have a very convenient, easy release tailgate. Just put your finger and press a button right in the middle of the handle. The tailgate drops for you automatically. This is an aluminum reinforced composite bed, so it's gonna last a lot longer than the typical other pure aluminum or steel beds. It's not gonna rust. We also have the factory spray-in bed liner, as you can see, which is certainly a must. I think anyone would agree that this is a necessary option for a pickup truck. We have 4 simple tie-down hooks, 1 in each corner, 2 in the back and 2 in the front, obviously. We also have our lighting on the sides and at the top of the roof. I'll close the tailgate now. It's a very light tailgate as well, and the step retracts automatically. You can also retract the step with the push of a button in the interior to move it in and out as you see fit without having to lower the tailgate, which is a nice touch, definitely necessary, I would think. I will admit though, I really think I like GM/Chevy's step integrated into the bumper a lot better. There's nothing for it to break. There's no power mechanism that's gonna fail over time. It's just a step. It still looks good and functions just as well. You don't have to move anything or push anything to use it. I think that's probably the best tailgate step-up system that I've used. Something that is neat, nifty, and quite handy that is unique to the Tundra's tailgate is the integrated taillight tailgate release button. I'm gonna pretend that I have my hands full walking up to the tailgate of the Tundra. As you can see, if I'm holding a gigantic item, it's gonna be kind of hard to stick my fingers up in the handle and release this button, right? As you can imagine, this would be possibly pretty difficult. But you can come up right to the driver's side taillight and just kind of nudge this little button right here, if I can get it to work. And there you go. Then I can take my large item, place it on the tailgate, and the power step is already released for me to easily climb in. This unfortunately does not work in reverse though. That'd be pretty neat, but it doesn't. You have to come back over and just hoik it up manually. But it's light enough, shouldn't be a problem for most people. I must not forget to mention that we of course do have a 120 volt, 400 watt power outlet, otherwise known as a household outlet, so you can plug in your George Foreman grill while you're tailgating in your Tundra. We also, of course, have these slide rails that have these mechanisms you can buy as an option, and they're little plastic pieces that hook in and lock where you want them all along this entire rail. So you essentially have unlimited tie-down possibilities with these slide rails on both sides and in the front of the bed of the Tundra. Now, before we take out this quite exceptional truck out on the road for a spin, let's talk about something that's not so exceptional about it, especially considering that it's a hybrid. It's fuel economy numbers. For a comparison, the 2021 model Tundra with the 5.7 liter V8 making 381 horsepower and 401 pound-feet of torque got an average fuel economy rating of 15 miles per gallon. And now, according to Toyota, with the EPA and DOT ratings across all trims of the Tundra that have the 3 different engine options, the base and mid-level iForce and then the iForce Max, the top trim, are getting around 19 to 20 average miles per gallon across all trims. This one specifically is rated for 19 in the city, 22 on the highway, and 20 overall miles per gallon. Unfortunately though, a lot of actual Tundra owners are reporting much lower fuel economy ratings. Right around 15 to 17 average miles per gallon seems to be a common trend. I get it, this motor's making a lot more power than the previous generation. However, when you're going from a V8 to a V6, especially a hybrid V6, one of the biggest things that people are gonna say is that they want better fuel economy. And unfortunately, those numbers are negligible as far as a better difference in fuel economy rating. At the end of the day though, it's really not much to complain about given the fact that this motor makes more power and has more towing capacity, and the truck overall has a higher payload. So in the grand scheme of things, you're just losing the V8 grunt, I guess. But giving up that tried and true, known to be reliable 5.7 liter V8, we do get some pretty sweet turbo whistle. In reality though, I am expecting and predicting that this motor will still be reliable though, purely based on the fact that it's a Toyota. Toyota seems to have really high standards for their build quality and reliability, so I'm expecting just that out of this truck. Alrighty guys, now moving on to certainly one of the Capstone's staples, the interior. Of course, opening the door, we are greeted by that automatically extending running board. It goes the whole length of the cab. I will say this is very nice. It makes it so easy to climb in and out of this truck. Absolute breeze. And we have this button here that I showed you earlier. You can push it off and the running boards will retract and not come out whether you open or close the door. Now taking a look at the door. I mean, this interior overall is truly just absolutely gorgeous. We have this white and black semi-aniline leather, which I'll explain later, but it is all over the door cards. We have this brushed aluminum trim around the door speaker as well as on this door pocket. We also have this American walnut wood trim, and it just feels so nice. I mean, It is just truly impeccable attention to detail what Toyota has done with the Capstone trim. Truly amazing. Really feels like a luxury truck, for sure. Now moving on to these seats. These are the black and white semi-aniline or aniline leather seats. They are oh so plush and super comfortable. They're literally like sitting in a recliner compared to a pickup truck. If you don't know what semi-aniline or semi-aniline means, it is essentially a classification of leather. I'll put a chart here to explain. Pure aniline leathers are completely porous with no finish on them, making them ultra soft and plush. These leathers are very expensive and usually used on high-end purses or leather jackets or something like that. On the contrary, the aniline leather is much more sensitive and fragile, therefore being much more prone to abrasions, tears, fading, and stains. So this leather being semi-aniline, it still is super soft and plush, not as soft as pure aniline, but it is still a little bit more resistant and less fragile, so it can be put into a vehicle. Essentially what this means is that these seats are much comfier and softer than your typical leather seats, but they're not so fragile that they can't be installed in a pickup truck. You do have to be more mindful though to take better care of these seats because they are more prone to staining, abrasions, and tearing. Thankfully though, they did the white and black with the white on top and the black on bottom where your butt's going to be. So this part is going to receive more of the wear and tear, of course, but it won't show it as much being that it's black versus the white part, which is obviously going to show a lot more wear and tear more easily. Now we'll climb back in, fire this bad boy up. I have the key in my pocket, push to start right here. You can see the graphic turn on, the Tundra logo. Pretty cool graphic with the iForce Max right there. In the center stack, we have this huge 14-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Below that, we have our climate controls. We have heated and ventilated seats for every seat in this truck. I mean, that is true luxury car status right there. We have our volume knob for the radio, of course. Everything feels super nice, by the way. I mean, look at that knob. Like, that is nice. That is really, really nice feeling. Even the plastic on the buttons still feels nice. Like, it's not super cheap feeling. I know it's plastic, but it still feels really, really good. Looking below that, we have our wireless phone charger, of course, along with our park and brake on the left. We also have two cup holders right here, and if you want to close them and not look at them and see that beautiful American walnut wood trim, if I can just get this thing to close, there we go. Down here we have our four-wheel drive controls with our tow haul and drive mode selected button. I mean, that switch is just so nice. Oh, I know you can't feel it, but it is, oh, listen to that. Now we'll take a look at our center console and center armrest. We have this little compartment that can hold a notepad, pens and whatnot, business cards. Very convenient, finished in that American walnut wood trim. Super, super nice. We'll move the key. We also have this other storage compartment right here that can slide in and out. You can slide this backwards to get access to your center console or store a larger item right here if you need to, like a gigantic water bottle, I guess. Now I'll slide this forward and you can use either one of these tabs right here to pull up the center console. Looking inside, we have a lot of storage space. We also have two USB ports and our coin slots if anyone uses coins anymore. Closing that up and moving down, we also have two additional cup holders that either the front or rear passengers can use. Looking above that gigantic touchscreen, it's practically a laptop. We have a fully digital rear view mirror, and this is a very neat touch because it completely takes away all of your blind spots back there, especially if you have a large item stored in the bed. Only catch is though, if this breaks, I'm sure it's rather expensive to fix instead of just having a traditional rear view mirror that will never break. If you want to switch it to a traditional rear view mirror though, you just push this tab forward and now it's a regular rear view mirror. Hello. Want to go back to being cool with your digital rear view mirror? There you go, flip it right on back. And there's also icons in here where you can go up or down, and if you want to go side to side, you can also change the brightness of it. You want to dim it down a little bit, you want to brighten it. I mean, what? That is crazy. That is truly remarkable. Moving above that, we have our sunglasses holder. Pretty standard, and we have our sunroof control as well as our SOS and whatnot, our dome lights. Taking a look at the sunroof, it is quite huge. I'll open it right now for you guys. Of course, you just push the button and it automatically opens up all the way for you. Thankfully, it opens a decent amount, gives you plenty of sun in the interior. Close that up real quick. Just hold it down one touch, automatically closes for you. Another very neat thing I have to show you guys, this is our rear window button right here. That's pretty standard though, right, Mark? On every pickup truck, they usually have those. Well, check out the one on the Tundra. The whole rear windshield rolls up and down. How cool is that? I absolutely love that feature. Not only is it just like a full open air experience when you want to roll that window down, it's also very practical. You can store long items through the cab if you need to, like long pieces of wood or whatnot if you don't have a ladder rack to attach them to. It also makes it just very easy to access the bed if you need to from the rear seat. I mean, that is truly remarkable. I love that feature. And last but not least, I have to show you this button right here, the mood lighting. Now, it's kind of hard to see in this light. You really can't see it at all. But I'm telling you, the mood lighting in this truck just looks absolutely exquisite. It just really brings a luxurious presence into the interior of this truck. And not to forget, above the center screen, we have a little storage spot right here with a 12-volt outlet. I'm not really sure about the convenience of that placement, but nonetheless, it is there. There's also yet another storage compartment way up here on the front of the dash. I'm not sure if I'm a really big fan of that or if I would ever use it, but I know a lot of people with pickup trucks, especially work trucks, they toss a lot of stuff on the front of their dash. So I guess if they need to still do that, they can put them in this cubby so they don't roll around everywhere. I'm guessing someone will appreciate and use that feature nonetheless. Moving down to the glove box, opening it up. Pretty standard room in there, nothing really crazy about that. If we remove the bed clamping mechanisms, as I showed you earlier, those are really neat. But you can see right here, you can store your owner's manual and registration and whatnot down here and other items up top. Neat little organizing piece right there. I did open this little cubby right here thinking it's like a secret storage compartment, but in fact it's not. It's just a passageway to the firewall essentially. You will notice that there is not a top glove box though. A lot of trucks that I review have a two-tiered glove box, like one on top and one on the bottom. The Tundra unfortunately does not. And now I did forget to mention, as nice, soft, plush, and beautiful as these semi-aniline leather seats are in the Capstone, this truck does not come with massaging seats as an option in the Capstone. Now climb on into the rear of the Tundra Capstone. Of course, the side steps extend for you automatically, making it much easier to climb on into this beautiful interior. Right off the bat, you immediately notice that the rear seats are pretty much just as nice as the front seats. This black leather wrapped around design on the headrest is an interesting design. I like it. It definitely makes it a little bit less white, so to speak. I don't know if that really makes a difference to anyone, but it's there nonetheless. Looks cool. Looking down on the center console, like I said earlier, we have heated and cooled rear seats as well. I mean, that is true luxury right there. I love that. I'm gonna put the ventilated seats on back here and make sure my butt is nice and cool. Below that, we have two additional USB ports, pretty standard. One's USB-A and one's USB-C. We also have our household outlet, and we have the climate control vents on the sides. These climate control vents feel a little cheap with the plastic. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but nonetheless, that is what you get. And another neat feature, definitely indicative of the luxury class status of this vehicle, we have rear sunshades. How about that? I mean, you could just tint your windows, but this is definitely nice to have as an added sun protection benefit with this truck. The grab handle right here is also leather wrapped. I mean, come on, that is nice. Take a look at our center armrest. You can pull this down, revealing two cup holders and a little phone slot right there. Nothing really else significant about that. And then lastly, for rear seat passengers, looking up here, we have our dome lights, which are very small. There's like 10 or 12 little small circles in each one, but they're actually quite bright. Very interesting design, Toyota. Now we'll climb out with this also very nicely finished aluminum door handle. Step on out. And I will say the steps retract and extend rather quickly. Like when I open the door, they immediately pop right out. So you're not waiting at all for those steps to extend. Coming to the top of the seat, we can pull this little tab right here. That folds the seat down this way, revealing some rather neatly packaged tools behind the passenger seat in the back. We can also put that up, and we can just lift up the bottom of the seat to create this style of flat loading floor. However, I don't believe that we can move this piece, so unfortunately you're gonna have to deal with this as a situation. Not ideal. I've reviewed many pickup trucks that have a complete flat loading floor back here, which is definitely more convenient. And if we come to the other side of the rear seat, we can pull on this tab in the center of the rear seats, fold that down, and we reveal where our JBL subwoofer is mounted. I'll also show you under this side of the rear seat right here, You just lock that in place, it stays up automatically. And we also have another fuse panel storage compartment. To lower it, pull this tab again, it lowers right down for you, and you're good to go. Alrighty, y'all. Finally getting out on the road in the all-new redesigned 2022 Toyota Tundra Capstone. This interior has so much room, you will never be complaining about the shoulder room, leg room, especially headroom. I have tons of room everywhere. And if you're shorter, you can obviously lift the seat up quite a bit in this truck, so you're not gonna have any problem with visibility. Overall, the visibility in this truck is great. The camera system is also awesome. I'll show you right now, backing up into this space. We have the digital rear view mirror as well. So in regards to visibility all around this truck, it's great. And right off the bat, I'm noticing the steering wheel just feels so nice in my hands. The way that they designed the grips at 9 and 3 feel great. The semi-aniline leather is also wrapped around the steering wheel. They didn't cheap out. It's not cheap leather on this steering wheel. It's a semi-aniline leather that they use all around this interior. I also have my big water bottle right here, and I have it in the center console cup holder, so to speak, and it fits perfectly. It wouldn't fit in these smaller cup holders, but for a bigger beverage vessel, this cup holder works great. All right, on the highway now, let's give it some beans. Whew. So right away, the throttle response was a little bit laggy. The truck took about a half second, maybe even more, to register my full throttle input before the engine kicked in and really started to pull. But when it did, it had good power, good acceleration. The shifts are seamless. It's not a dual clutch, but this close ratio 10-speed automatic transmission shifted very smoothly. They were seamless shifts like butter, very, very smooth. And now this truck, being a hybrid, also does have regenerative braking. I feel it a little bit, but it's not like really, really jarring, like all of a sudden, and very abrupt, so to speak. So the hybrid does take a little bit to get up and go. Handles like a truck, that's for sure. The V6 twin turbo sounds good though. I don't know if that's piped in sound and whatnot, but it sounds pretty good. All right, so now I'm gonna mess around with the drive modes while I'm on the highway. For the 3 drive modes, we have Eco, Normal, and Sport. All right, coming into a corner now. We're in sport mode. I mean, if you're hucking it around corners, yeah, this thing has some body roll and it's pretty floaty. But for a big old pickup truck that weighs 6,200 pounds, it's not too bad. The acceleration is definitely where it's at. What's really cool is I can push this button right here next to the traction control off button, and it's the bed camera view. And on the center screen, it shows the entire bed so you can see exactly what's going on back there. Very neat feature, I like that a lot. Another neat little thing is in the gauge cluster, we obviously have our speed limit sign. That's pretty standard, but this truck also recognizes when there's a stop sign coming up. So I just pulled up to a stop sign right here, and a little stop sign logo showed up right in my gauge cluster, just reminding me that there's a stop sign ahead. Very nice touch. A little creepy that this truck knows exactly where you are at all times. That is a little bit off-putting, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what, it's brand new and we're being tracked all the time anyway, so what's the difference really? Oh yeah, there we go. Phew. Once you get up and go though, that twin turbo V6 hybrid really starts to pull. Oh yeah, wow. That kicked out the rear end real easily. That was like half throttle. I didn't even try to do that. No problem merging on the highway, that's for sure. All right, full throttle dig from a stop. There we go. Oh yeah. $76,000 MSRP is a lot of money. But I will say, Toyota customers want a vehicle that's gonna do the job and do the job well. And as far as this truck is concerned, I don't think people are going to be complaining about it that much. It rides well, it has good power, it's really beautiful inside and out. The materials in here are just exquisite. I think it's quite a good truck. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my little review of this all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra Capstone. This is a beautiful truck inside and out, and I had a ton of fun driving it. Also, thank you so much to the guys at Toyota of Dartmouth for letting me borrow this truck for the whole day. I really appreciate it. If you want to go check them out, I will put all of their contact information in the description below. Also, let me know what you think of the Tundra down in the comments. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Do you like the Tundra Capstone? Do you think this trim's a little bit too much? Would you prefer a different trim of the Tundra? Let me know. I'd like to hear it. Anyway, guys, please, if you like the video, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out to grow my channel, and it means a lot to me. Take care, stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next review. Peace. They do not come with a massaging seat option. Does not come with massaging, not come with massaging, not come with massaging sheets, massaging, not come with massaging sheets. Does not come with massaging sheets. Does not come with massaging, does not come with massaging seats.